my passionate and loyal Scorpio friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. A Scorpio, there's a heaviness you might not speak of, but it's there. This week, it's as if you're carrying a secret weight, a growing awareness that some part of your life simply doesn't fit as it once did. You might catch yourself staring out windows or pausing mid-conversation, your mind wandering off to what's missing or what's quietly asking to be left behind. It's not always sadness. Sometimes it's a subtle restlessness, a quiet ache. There's a sense that you can't quite settle, even in familiar rooms. The things that used to comfort you are somehow less satisfying, and even small pleasures feel a little distant. You might notice this most in the evenings, when the world grows quieter and your inner voice gets a little louder. It's not a crisis, but a slow realization. Something within you is ready for more, even if you can't yet name what that is. This current of unease is not always easy to admit, even to yourself. You may have grown used to carrying what others can't see. Friends might sense a shift, a reluctance to join in, a new kind of patience in your eyes. You're not running from your life, but you are turning ever so slightly toward something else. There's a longing for depth, for meaning, for honesty in your connections and in the way you spend your time. The energy in the air is thick with the possibility of change, yet you're moving slowly, letting it unfold. You sense that something is ending, but you're not rushing to close the door. Instead, you're listening for the right moment to step away. The 8 of Cups captures this moment perfectly, even if you haven't spoken it aloud. It's that feeling of quietly withdrawing from what no longer nourishes you, even if it once did. You may find yourself turning down invitations or letting conversations drift away, not out of rudeness but self-preservation. You're attuned to your own discomfort, your own yearning for something more authentic. This isn't about drama or declarations, it's about a subtle internal shift. You're beginning to trust that moving on doesn't have to look dramatic. It's a gentle process, a series of small choices. Each time you say no to what drains you, you say yes to something unknown and possibly more true. You might worry about disappointing others or leaving something unfinished. But there's wisdom in your restraint, in your willingness to pause before moving on. You know yourself well enough to sense when it's time to let go quietly with dignity. What's unspoken here is the tension between loyalty and self-respect. You've always known how to stay, to endure, to see things through. But now your energy is shifting. You're no longer willing to carry what isn't yours or to invest in what no longer fills your cup. This is more than fatigue. It's the first spark of self-honesty. You may not know what comes next, but you sense that staying put is no longer an option. The ache you feel isn't a flaw, it's a sign that you're ready for a different kind of fulfillment. From this inner place, the path ahead begins to form, shaped by the choices you're making now. The quiet decisions, to step back, to release, to honor your own needs, begin to gather momentum. What starts as a subtle shift in your emotional climate sets in motion a series of changes you may not have anticipated. The unease you feel is not a stopping point, it's a catalyst. Each act of letting go carves out space for new movement, for clarity. The very discomfort that has been quietly building is, in its own way, preparing you for what comes next. The first step away from what's familiar is already a step towards something more aligned. As you move along this unfolding path, the chariot makes itself felt, not as an external force, but as a current of willpower rising from within. The pressures of the week may show up as a need to take control, to direct your life more deliberately. You might notice a sense of urgency, a building resolve to act on what you've long felt. The world around you doesn't necessarily slow down to accommodate your process. Instead, old patterns may push back, testing your resolve. There may be moments of friction, where your desire for change meets the expectations of others or the inertia of your own routines. Momentum builds in ways both subtle and unmistakable. You could feel a new determination pulling you forward, helping you navigate difficult conversations or set boundaries you once avoided. The Chariot's energy isn't about force for its own sake. It's about harnessing the emotional clarity you've been cultivating and allowing it to steer you, even when the road is uncertain. You may feel pulled in different directions, part of you wanting to retreat, another part eager to move forward. The week is full of small tests, invitations to old habits, requests to compromise, reminders of why you stayed so long. Each choice brings a little more clarity about what truly matters to you now. This isn't a week where everything falls perfectly into place. Instead, it's a time of active engagement with your own desires. The friction you encounter is not an obstacle, but a signal that you're moving. As you assert your needs, gently or firmly, you begin to see what you're capable of. The pressure to act may feel uncomfortable, but it's also invigorating. You're learning what it means to be in the driver's seat, to let your own sense of purpose guide you. The world around you may not understand every choice, but you're beginning to realize that understanding isn't always required. There's power in your willingness to move forward, even if you're still learning the terrain. At every step, it becomes clear that your potential isn't just a matter of fate. It's something that unfolds as you meet each moment with awareness and intention. The movement you feel is only meaningful if you remain awake to your own motivations, willing to change course if the path demands it. The possibility of fulfillment, of arriving at a place that feels truly right, depends on your ability to stay present, to choose consciously, to honor what you're learning about yourself. There is no shortcut, no guarantee. The future you seek is built one honest decision at a time. What begins as discomfort and grows into movement ultimately opens the door to a new sense of satisfaction. The energy of the Nine of Cups enters the picture here, not as a promise that all wishes will be fulfilled, but as an invitation to recognize what's truly nourishing. The fulfillment you're seeking isn't found in a single outcome or achievement. Instead, it emerges in the space you create by letting go of what no longer serves you and allowing yourself to want more, to want differently. This is a week where small moments of contentment begin to surface. You may notice satisfaction in the simplest things: a quiet morning, a heartfelt conversation, a sense of pride in choosing your own way. This isn't about arriving at a final destination, but about noticing how your inner world shifts as you honor your own needs. The openness you cultivate by letting go and moving forward makes room for deeper joy. You may find yourself surprised by a feeling of ease, a lightness in your chest, a genuine smile that comes without effort. The Nine of Cups doesn't guarantee lasting happiness, but it does remind you that fulfillment is possible, even in transition. The more you pay attention to what feels good, not just pleasurable but right, the more you find yourself at home in your own life. Growth in this sense is gentle. It's a process of learning to trust your own desires, to celebrate progress without waiting for perfection. All three cards, Eight of Cups, the Chariot, Nine of Cups, form a quiet arc. You begin by sensing what no longer fits, feeling the tension that comes from honoring your own discomfort. You move forward sometimes with uncertainty, but always with a growing sense of direction. Along the way, you discover that fulfillment isn't a reward for effort, but a natural result of living more truthfully. The journey isn't always smooth. There are moments of doubt, of resistance, of fatigue, but there is also a steady unfolding, a sense that each step, no matter how small, brings you closer to yourself. By week's end, what once felt like restlessness may feel more like anticipation, a readiness for what's next. You can rest in the knowledge that your willingness to let go, to move, to seek joy, is its own kind of success. The discomfort that started your journey becomes the very ground on which something richer can grow. Actionable insights for Scorpio this week. Let the feeling of restlessness be a gentle signal to try something different in your daily routine. Notice when you feel most at ease and allow yourself to linger in those moments a little longer. If you feel pulled in two directions, allow yourself to pause and breathe before responding. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I let go of what weighs me down. Each choice I make belongs to me. I trust the movement of my own heart. Today I am enough just as I am. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.